over here with Tre Balfour.
Yeah, man.
And Chico Burrell Show. I want to thank you for joining me.
Pleasure,
taking
man.
me into your world.
Yeah, man. This is it, man. Welcome, y'all. Keep it on the 2 and 4. You know? Yeah, cool, man.
So how long you been in percussions?
Man, I've been playing since I was, probably about 6. And started entertaining when I was 8.
You was already entertaining at 8 years old?
At 8 years old, because I marched in this drum corps back in Maryland. It was called the American Legionnaires. And it was based off of like VFWs.
Okay.
And they were in the communities, and they were just keeping the kids active with music and drums. So we were marching.
Okay.
And then it just, you know, we didn't have the bugles yet, but that was like the next step up. And then when I moved to Wichita, Kansas, I started marching in a drum and bugle corps. And that was in like 79. But yeah, I started 8 years old, and you had to be like 14 to march.
That's the part I'm stuck on, because I have a 7-year-old son.
Okay.
So you had to have had an influence at 6, 8 years old to get into the drums. Tell me about that.
All right, well, on my father's side, I guess I got it through osmosis or just in the blood, because my father was a professional musician. He was from Memphis.
Okay.
And he grew up with Isaac Hayes and David Porter. So they were playing in bands in North Memphis, you know, and so my dad played all the wind instruments. So him and my mother divorced when I was 2, so I went to live with my grandmother. With my mother, she was teaching. She just graduated from Langston University in Oklahoma, and she had got a job teaching in Tacoma Park, Maryland. Well, actually Baltimore.
Okay.
So I never really was around music in my grandparents' house, you know, because they were all educators.
Right.
So it was like once I got to where I could be around music, be around drums.
Okay.
Especially, that's when.
Okay.
And my grandfather told me, you know, he said, "Look, man," because he was a singer too.
Okay.
You know, and he had said, "Look, man, if you master this 2-stroke roll, I'll get you your first snare drum." So I got that snare drum, and I think I was like probably 7 years old, because all during Christmases, you know, up until then I was getting like Sears drum sets and breaking them and crying day one of Christmas, and I'm like, you know, so you know, he said, "All right, you practice this rhythm right here, and I'll get you a drum set. I'll get you a snare drum." So I got that snare drum, man, and I went and auditioned for that drum corps, the American Legionnaires, and they were like, "Get this kid a uniform." And I was like little. I was like real little. Everyone else was like this. And I got pictures. It's like everyone's like this. Bam, and it's me.
So it's definitely in the blood.
Oh, yeah.
I would definitely say
yeah,
that.
I got 2 boys up playing.
Oh,
you know?
great.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Now, how old were you when you joined your first band?
My first band, I was probably, my first real band that I can say, I was 22, 23. I was in a band called After 5 Jazz, and we were based out of Oklahoma City. And those cats, you know, it was a trio. Then I came in as a percussionist, you know, and I brought in like everything but the kitchen sink, you know, kumis, timbales, washboard, chimes, cymbals, electronics. I mean, everything.
Right.
And so for a cat doing that in Oklahoma City, you know, it's like, "Man, what planet is this dude coming from?" You know what I mean? It's like, okay, and he's grooving too. So they gave me my start, man, and to this day we stay in contact, man. We had opened up for like Midnight Star, and you know, Larry Carlton, and I mean a lot of people, man. And we were nicknamed the Bad Boys of Jazz, because we had released a CD. And a lot of the critics, this was like right when smooth jazz was breaking out.
Okay.
And we were right on the cusp of that. I mean, we were on the charts with Miles Davis.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, exactly, man. Yeah. You know, it was real cool, man. John Tesh. And it was real cool, man. We had a little promotional tour in the Midwest from Texas on up to Minneapolis, and our music was played on all the smooth jazz stations.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but then, you know, once we started getting good, you know, the band broke up, you know,
Right.
and it was just like, oh man. So that's when I moved out in 91. I came out here, and 6 months later, I was with Color Me Bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Color Me Bad.
Yeah, from Oklahoma City.
That's great.
So, you know, it was like, and the musical director would come and see me perform at the club in Oklahoma City after 5. And when I moved out here, and they had gone to New York, and when they came out here to rehearse, that's when they fired their other percussionist and got me in. So it was like a little Oklahoma thing. So it was
Sure,
cool.
that's real cool.
And then after that, man, you know, everything started just, you know, you had your highs and lows, but still,
Sure.
I had always been busy in, you know, music, in the music business. Been in it for almost 25 years.
Now tell me about the, I hope I say it right, the Tesserae band, right?
Yeah, Tesserae, yeah.
That's what's going on as of you today, right?
Yeah, but some other things, because I got a band called the Luxury Brown, which is some of the members in Tesserae, which is just as killing. And it's more of it's a different vibe. You know, Tesserae is very cool. We do a lot of traditional jazz with R&B, contemporary jazz, smooth jazz, but with Luxury Brown, we're more hip-hop, jazz.
A lot more flavor.
Yeah, a lot more flavor and a little bit more aggressive.
Okay, you guys are going hard over there in that
Yeah.
Luxury Brown.
Yeah, and the Luxury Brown.
Tesserae's kind of, you know, smooth and cool, but
It's very cool.
Luxury
You know, the
Brown, y'all
upright
go
bass.
hard.
We're trying to knock them
That's
out.
right.
We're trying to knock them out.
Yeah, I like that word, knockout. Okay,
Yeah, exactly.
man, can we get a little sample of something?
Yeah,
Can
man.
I hear a little something?
Yeah.
I got my eyes on these. I'm loving those.
Oh, those? Well, you know, for example, can you close that door if you don't mind?
Absolutely.
For example, you know, like with Tesserae, you know, a prime example, we do something like this. Something like that. We're Luxury Brown. We do it like this. Basically,
Okay,
that's
got
it.
a lot more flavor.
Exactly.
You'll bob your head.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
You know, without going into detail. And then over here, when I'm touring, like I was working, like with all my major tours have been playing percussion, which is cool with me because I tell all my students, look, first of all, you got to get your ego in check, no matter what. You got to, in the music business, you got to have your ego in check. And the beauty of it is, what I'm doing is, I'm teaching drums, I'm teaching percussion, I'm teaching marching to the kids in the community at the high schools.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Little Rock and Knight. You know, I've been at AV, been at Highland, but my two main schools are Little Rock and Knight High School. But I'm telling these kids, you always want that phone to keep ringing no matter what.
Absolutely.
So I get the call over here for Tesserae, Luxury Brown. I get the call for marching from Little Rock, you know, my programs.
Sure.
And I get these from, you know, Michael Bolton to Gladys Knight to, you know, I did the Grams with Ricky Martin. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh, so you can do the Latin flavor too.
Exactly.
'Cause
Exactly.
That's I have Latin roots. So
Yeah,
when I
yeah,
see
okay.
these drums, immediately I think the Latin salsa.
So what you're used to as far as the Latin stuff, you're used to stuff like, you know,
Right. Oh man.
Yeah, man. So you know, it's like I'm doing. You know, I did a gig playing percussion locally. I work with this local artist who used to be Sheena Easton's saxophonist, Mark Macisso. Great guy. And he's also in education as well. He teaches at, Shadow Hills Middle School. And, he's a saxophonist, smooth jazz cat, works with Peter White. And, we just do a duo sometimes.
Right.
It's him, he's got the backing tracks, saxophone, and he also plays flute, harmonica, guitar, he sings, and I play percussion. With chimes, all this stuff, and it's real cool. We play it, around town, Portofino, little rooms, stuff like that, and yeah, that's it. And then, the drum stuff around town, so it's cool.
Man, wow, that sounds really great what you're doing over here. And we're out, Chico Burrell Show. Till next time.
Bom. Cantaloupe Island, all blues.